it unites us together, yet it makes us feel different. My exhibition consists of 9 artworks, and it follows a basic narrative: the beginning, everything in between, and the end. Starting with my first artwork, which is an abstract painting titled Being. It represents the founding structures to my conscience, which is the knowledge and the experience which has been passed on to me by my parents through family activities such as going on a road trip or family dinners. I believe consciousness is directly related to the knowledge that I have gained so far, in which I learned from listening to my parents' advice or just a funny story. In the painting, you can see a bigger hand passing on a green apple to a tinier hand. The green apple signifies as my beliefs and understanding from my parents. And the setting of the paintings is equally important as it shows space, which represents the vast much that I have learned so far and I have yet to learn later on. To honor my parents even more, I use familiar techniques that I learned from my dad growing up, which was using household tools to create specific abstract patterns. For this painting, I use a toothbrush to do the stars, and for the ruler, for the galaxy, I use a ruler to paint it. My next painting is a surrealist oil painting titled I Think I See. As obvious from the title, it represents the role of awareness to be conscious in the first place. We think, therefore, we think whatever we sense. It is important to us to be conscious, and whatever we sense makes us a conscious person. I took inspiration from famous surrealist artists such as Salvador Dali and Frida Kahlo. Since this was my first ever oil painting, it was certainly challenging since I used a medium that I was not familiar with. For the specific painting, I wanted it to seem like a dissection happening there. Therefore, I used a red gradient for the plane and a blue background as a contrast. The next three artworks are 3 paintings that come under a specific branch of consciousness, specifically the term qualia. Qualia has been interpreted in many ways by different psychologists, but it can be defined as the distinctiveness of an experience through its elements. To emphasize the perspective part of these paintings, I made sure to use circle canvases. My first painting under qualia is titled Swimming. It represents the tranquility of being underwater in a swimming pool, and how blue the tiles were, and how those blue tiles would reflect onto the water, and how the corner of my goggles would blur out a specific tile. My second painting under qualia is titled Chocolate. It represents the childlike feeling of biting into a chocolate bar. I feel warm and mellow whenever I bite into a chocolate bar. It's like I'm transported into a different dimension of plain happiness. The use of blue and brown was important for this painting as both those colors represent warmth. My third painting under qualia is titled A Sunset on a Voyage. It represents the specific memory I have of a sunset on a ferry trip to Bali. I remember looking at the sea and being mesmerized by how pink the skies were and how the foam left behind by the ferry ship somehow mirrored the clouds above. This painting reminded me the beauty of living and being around nature and my family. My next artwork is titled Camera on My Con. It represents the dullness of online learning. In the painting, we can see a computer screen that has a tab open which says meeting has been ended by host, followed by a button says begin panic session. As a consequence of the pandemic, a lot of students like me felt drained and disturbed due to the monotonousness of sitting in front of a laptop and staring at the screen for hours on end. The red blob in the middle represents us students, as during the lockdown we were at such a malleable state that the lockdown has affected our conscious negatively. My next artwork is a clay sculpture titled Confined by My Own Hands. It shows two hands gripping a tiny moon. It portrays the times where I stopped myself from enjoying or even doing things in general just because I was self-conscious. It shows how my self-conscience has been a sort of destruction. The red hands against the blue human shows the conflict between the urge to explore more, but yet still concluding to hide instead. As for my next piece is an installation piece titled The Three Screaming Pillars. It shows three pillars with different emotions: anger, sadness, and others. It shows how I deal with frustration, and this was something that I learned from my childhood. I have cried, screamed, and even felt numb into many pillows as I grew up. Since it was something I learned during my childhood, I made sure to emphasize the childish artworks through crayons and even uneven shapes. The embroidery used in the installation piece also represents another way of how I've been dealing with frustration, which is through crochet and yarn. I also made sure that the installation piece felt like I was a kid again, going around my household with a bunch of crayons, dribbling around. I made sure to use primary colors, red, blue, and yellow, to show the basis of childlike innocence. My last artwork is the door in the end of the tunnel. It shows my interpretation of the final end. I believe it's when the soul takes its final breath, and it's a common saying by people that on our deathbed, we face our memories once again. Our experiences, obstacles, and memories flash as well. The colorful yet transparent strokes around the door represent those memories, experiences, and obstacles, which I think would be swarming you as I walk through the door. It's an incredibly abstract and fantastical painting depicting my interpretation of the ending to the journey of life. Thank you all for viewing my exhibition. I hope it was as enlightening and thought-provoking as I aimed it to be.
Well done. Once again, I congratulate you for your creative thinking, your creative pieces of painting, art, and the analysis of each painting, which you've done so eloquently. You really analyzed your works through your memories and what was the psychology in your mind for each one, some deep philosophies for each one. And your presentation was marvelous. I wish you all the best. Carry on with this type of thinking. Art comes from thinking. And I can see you are very clear and very lucid in your thoughts. I wish you all the best, and I hope and pray that both students with very good grades. I hope the IB examiners, they will look at the painting, but they will look in your head, inside your head, how you interpreted the painting, how authentically you done it. I was pretty touched when I saw your painting. Very well done, thank you. Keep up the good work. It's a lifelong hobby and a lifelong sky is the limit. Well done.